Today is the day that I get most excited for throughout the entire gardening season, and that's the day that I get to plant out my tomatoes here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Zone 6B. I had to start with bringing all of my tomatoes and my peppers, because I was organizing those too, out from the greenhouse onto my deck table so that I could organize them. This took a few walks back and forth from the greenhouse. I have a lot of plants this year. Not to mention that I also had to fight off a bee from inside the greenhouse before I could even get in there, so that was a thing. Then I got to go through all of the tomatoes and choose the 6 cherry varieties that I wanted to plant in one area of my garden, and the 6 bush larger tomato varieties that I wanted to plant elsewhere in my garden. Once I chose the tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes that I wanted to plant, I then chose exactly which spot they were going in. This just saves me time in the process through planting the entire thing. If I'm being honest, this is the fun part, is digging the holes, amending each hole with some compost or some slow release fertilizer, and getting those tomatoes in the ground. I have 5 different varieties in this space. The first one being a Midnight Snack cherry tomato, which I'm really excited about. I've not grown this one before. Actually, I'm growing a lot of new varieties of tomatoes this year. The next cherry tomato is a yellow pear tomato. Then I'm trying for the first time a pineapple cherry tomato, the golden cherry tomato, another midnight snack tomato, and a sweet 100 cherry tomato. Of course, you have to label your tomatoes, or else, if you're like me, you'll forget what you planted. A little bit later in the day, I planted 6 more bush variety tomatoes in another part of my garden that gets sun for majority of the day. This area of the garden gets 8 to 10 hours of sun, which is perfect for larger sized tomatoes. And I'm really excited to watch them grow here in front of my deck and see a wall of tomatoes covering this space. Tomatoes are one of my favorite things to plant in the garden, and I can't wait to watch them all grow this season.